All right, let's get started. Thanks so much for joining today. I wanted to cover something that I'm seeing our team work through a lot with current customers, and that is creating multiple work orders from a quote. Seems very simple, but the scenario is you sell a roof replacement and the customer has chosen an add-on option for gutters and windows, let's say, or just like, let's say gutters. Uh, you have an in-house crew maybe for the roof replacement, but you actually use a sub for the gutters. And in this scenario, we need the work orders to be split up so that we're not confusing either one of these teams. Let me share my screen and we can talk through how we set this up so that they just work automatically for you. Okay, so now you can see my ProLine dashboard. I have a project open and I just wanted to give you a quick view before I jump into configurations that I have three work orders here, or I have a material order and two work orders. And if I view this gutter labor order, just for example, the only two things that I have on this order, and this is based on how I've configured this type of order, is the gutters. I should remove the complete roof system for my for the example, but uh, I have two items that will pull automatically from my quote to show this type of to show on this type of work order. And then I have my material order. So all of my material items are going to automatically dump into that material order. I can also divide that up too. I could have material orders going different places, right? And then I have just a general work order here, and that's all the other items that I need my in-house crew to do to replace the roof for this job. And so this one is going to be have a lot more information on it. The shingle installation, and everything else that you might need to have on here. Okay, so the way that I configured this was in the price list first. So in my price list, I would like to have certain types of, so I have types here, labor, material, and I have gutter labor. The way that I created this subcategory was actually at the bottom of this page. I created a cost category for this and I added gutter labor. So maybe I would like one for window labor. And I'm only going to put the things that have to do with this thing into this category. Um, and let's see, choose some windows. What do I have in here? I love a demo account. Oh, there we go. Windows. That's material. We need that. So let me see if I have a Windows that's, if not, we'll go back to page 3 and I'll just use that for the sake of the example here. The coil wrap. I'm going to probably have to go back to that item. Okay, so windows. Let's just make this window labor for our example here. And so now that item, it has that type. And the way that we're going to have this show now, so I have created my cost category. This is the type of thing that I need to separate out onto a different type of order. And then I have categorized the appropriate items that would go onto that order. You can always just add items when you create a work order or a material order. This is the way that you do it when you want it to automatically populate this type of item. So if this is a consistent thing for you, you're going to want to automate this. You don't want to be doing it manually every single time. So let's go ahead and configure this. And then we're going to hop over to our order. So this is in your hamburger menu. You go down to company settings and then you choose price list. So that's where I made these updates. The next thing that I want to do is actually go into my order. So again, hamburger menu, company settings. I'm going to choose orders and I want to create the type of orders. So I have material, work order, and gutter labor. The way that I configured this gutter labor work order was to have, let's go to the order agreement. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, line item inclusion under quote conversion settings. So I have gutter labor included on this work order. I can add other types of items here. I can add as many as I want. But this is something that I just wanted separated out. I can add an order template for my windows, and I want my windows. Maybe I want my labor and materials for windows to show up on here. So I just want to have, I know I want my window labor, and then maybe I want I didn't create a cost category for other things that go on here, but let's just do this for now. Um, in your order templates, by the way, just to do a quick run through since we're in here, I can name this. You definitely want to name this so that you know what you're working with. So window order, target date and time, you have as soon as possible, hold for a later date or a specific date, which you choose. Hold for a later date is something that you maybe are going to wait to do. And then as soon as possible means like, let's do it tomorrow. And then your notes. So you can just type in notes in a text box, but another fun thing you can do is add a table, for example. So maybe there are things that you actually need to type in for each work order. Okay, so like maybe I want to uh item expansion, I don't know. And then I'm going to put price. And I can make these bold. I'm just, this is if you just want to type some things in onto the work order later, but maybe you don't want to add them to your item list. This is also an option for you. Show client name and delivery details, show client phone number and delivery details, entirely up to you. If you choose those options, they're going to automatically populate for every single one of this type of work order. You can always edit it when you're creating it, but just so that you know. Show line item cost. You can group cost totals, show order cost total. We could just do that if we want for the sake of an example here. I can add terms. And then in my quote conversion settings, I have convert selected options, convert selected add-ons, and then line item inclusion labor. So which quote pages should be converted into groups on this order when creating from a signed quote? This is actually best used when you're creating one that has like everything on it. Um, you definitely want to group together certain types of items. So on a larger work order. And then what type of items are we including? And this one, we're just going to do window labor. And let's do, uh, I just want to give you guys an example. I'm going to add the gutter labor. I know it doesn't make sense for what we're trying to do, but here we are. Um, we're to go back to Catherine's project, and I think I need to create a quote. Let's just do, yeah, let's do this with some options. Okay, so we have gutter options here. Let's just like use big numbers. And then we'll go our windows. Let's add a line item for windows. Um, okay. And then let's say we're doing 5. Okay. Quantity of 5. I'm going to close this. I want to pretend that they agreed to this, so I'm going to sign it. Great signature. I agree to the terms. Oh, now I'm signing accept. Okay, it's saving. Quote is finalized, and I have it here listed that it is on September 2nd. I should have renamed this. Way to make it confusing for myself, but let's go to the orders and create a new order. And I want to choose Windows. Create. So I can do this, by the way, from the quote or the job. I can also assign both. All right. And we have our delivery settings. Remember I said that I had some text in here. 300, and I can associate a job if I had created jobs on this quote, which also could be done, or on this project, which also could be done automatically. I have not created any for this project, so I don't have any options there, but let's save and close and let's take a look at our work order. I have my order notes with some text and I have my windows. I added all this pricing in just so you could see it, not necessary to keep that there. And then the total I added as well, but you can see here, I just have the window and gutter items that I said I wanted this type of order. And so for this person, I have a gutter work order, a material order, a general work order, and a window order that I was able to create very quickly just by having the quote set up to have the appropriate line items. My line items had to be set up with the appropriate type of item so that I could group them. It's all just about configuration in a system as configurable as ours. Yep, I want to pause and take questions before I keep going. Let me see what we've got here. Take your time. I know I talk too fast. Oh man. Any other questions, guys and girls? I'll pause for a second just in case there's more questions about the work orders, but it's pretty simple, as you can see. We just want to create them in our settings, company settings, hopping into our price list and just getting organized. Our account managers and our support team can help you with this as well. So if you know kind of what you want, but you don't have the time to come in here and make these updates, you're able to give them permission to help you set this up. And they do this all day long. So they have a lot of, good strategies and stuff for getting this stuff done pretty quickly for you. Um, and know all the weird nuanced things about how the work orders could work. And yeah. Okay. Well, if we don't have any questions, then I will call it a little early today. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend, and I'll see you in a week.